to give us their dramatic rendition of that famous song worldwide. But now it's time for the gold medal match. Who is going to be under pressure here? Which one of these two will be another one that bites the dust? It's time that we will rock you and find out who will be singing "We Are the Champions" at the end of this final match in the individual tournament at the 2017 Barcelona Women's Epee World Cup. On your right will be Irina EMBRICH of Estonia, the world number 10. And she goes up against Sun Yiwen of China, the world number 6. In the head-to-head between these two, they've both won 2 matches each. Most recently, EMBRICH took out Sun 6-3 at the Buenos Aires World Cup in 2016, and our referee, Pablo Romelo, is going to officiate the proceedings. Local Spaniard in charge of the match. His floor assessors are David Baker of Australia and David Kralik of Slovakia. And we suspected this would be a game of non-combativity. The two fencers not showing any desire to go at each other in the first period, and the referee quite rightly calls halt after a little over 30 seconds and takes us straight into the second period. We don't want to see two fencers standing miles away from each other for all of the 3 minutes, so this ruling has come in to make them fence each other. And it looks again like neither is going to take the risk, and I fear that we will have another period of non-combativity. EMBRICH may be looking to press to find an opening, but she's not going to take any risk against Sun. We know Sun is brilliant in defence. Just skips away, and with the pommel grip, the extra reach she gets from that means that she's great going away and picking off double hits. And in this case, she gets a single light. 2 minutes 12 on the clock. Remember that. If we get down to 1 minute 12 without a hit, the referee will be almost compelled to call for non-combativity. He doesn't need to wait for a full minute. With Sun scoring first, it's more likely that EMBRICH is going to push and try and get a levelling hit. Sun won't take any risk at all. Is indeed a second intention closing attack, so EMBRICH starts the first action. It's a fake, slow, short attack, and then picks up the blade from Sun and closes out, stops her opponent from hitting her whilst she's able to land a hit herself. One apiece. Sun just backing away again. She's more than happy to play non-combativity here. This is all about whether EMBRICH's prepared to take the risk. EMBRICH, of course, picked up a bronze medal in the Tallinn World Cup at the beginning of the season. And she made a quarter-final at the Shuzhou World Cup in China back in November. Sun was 5th in Shuzhou, but was the Rio Olympic bronze medalist, and a couple of double hits. Both fencers score a point at the same time, takes us to 3 apiece. Both playing the percentage game here. EMBRICH being a little bit more pressing. But that tactic's only going to work if she gets single lights up, and single lights that are of a green colour. Sun picking her off beautifully under the wrist on that hit. Stunning hit. Beautiful accuracy. Talking about landing the tip of your sword in a box about a square centimetre that only appears for the blink of an eye. Stepping into distance, punished by Sun. EMBRICH closed up too quickly, stopped in her tracks, and Sun was able to pick her off on the top of the wrist, and the two are going to back away from each other, and we'll have a period of rest now, 1 minute of rest. It's technically the 2nd minute's rest, but of course we skipped through that because of non-combativity in the first period. And really now, tactically, Sun is in the box seat. She's happy to play a defensive game, sit back and wait for EMBRICH to come to her. And in the dying seconds of that second period, was able to pick off a couple of hits and take that lead, which gives her a bit of a buffer. EMBRICH down at the right-hand side of the piste, talking to her coach. She's got to keep pressing, but she's got to use this second intention. She used it earlier on today, and it worked well for her. We see Hughes Aubry, the former French national coach, now coaching in China. I've had a couple of good chats with him here in Barcelona. He is thoroughly enjoying his time in China, really enjoying his time. He's based out in Beijing. He said he spent 4 weeks training with the Chinese team in Europe before heading off to Canada for a training camp. So hasn't actually been in China the entire time, but quite understandable that the Chinese team would want to come and train abroad and get some practice with athletes from other nations. Clearly paying off for Sun Yiwen. 5-3 up, gold medal match, Barcelona World Cup. EMBRICH has her work cut out. She's got to try and employ second intention. She's got to throw in a fake attack before landing the real one. She did it just then. Perhaps a slightly bigger pause between the false attack and the real one there gave her the opportunity to pick up Sun's blade. A bit more of a surprise. Very disciplined Sun, the Chinese fencer, when in distance, just keeps the point of her target, point of her sword, pointing at EMBRICH's target right around the guard, looking to pick up easy hits. And this time, EMBRICH launches an attack from far too far out. That was easy for Sun Yiwen to pick up the closing counterattack, or closing parry riposte, in fact. This time, EMBRICH picking around the blade there, trying to find an opening a couple of times, staying in distance very bravely. As Sun says enough's enough and launches an attack of her own. It's 7-4 now. Things are looking pretty tight for EMBRICH. She's going to have to start closing this gap pretty quickly. She has got 2 minutes. She doesn't need to rush, but she's going to be thinking, well, I've got to get at least one hit back in the next minute. Again, starting a foray from too far out, the Estonians playing into Sun's extra reach and distance control as she steps away, sticks out her arm for a counter-attack. EMBRICH working hard to push Sun back to her back line, so she's got nowhere to go. This is a good tactic, a good change of tactics from EMBRICH. Got to keep her on that back line. Sun's then forced to attack, and EMBRICH gets a double, but she's got to try and get single lights now. Job 1, push the Chinese fencer to the back line. Job number 2, avoid getting hit. Job number 3, land the hit. She's got to get 4 of those in a minute and 15 seconds. And again, too far out on the attack. She's got to be at least one step closer to her opponent before she launches that fake attack to the high line and then going down to the foot to try and hit around the bottom of the leg or the foot itself. When Sun has the space to skip out of the way from the first step of the attack from EMBRICH, it's always going to be her point. Again, too far away. Maybe that was a fake one. Closing the distance up nicely now. EMBRICH trying to find the blade. Time ticking away now for the Estonian. Nice from EMBRICH. This is better. A couple of false attacks and then the real one. And you'll have noticed a little bit more explosion on the real attack in terms of the change in speed and the step lunge at the end. And now she's having to close the distance up a lot. Sun will be happy to skip back to the back line, especially if EMBRICH stops one step too early, stands still, and offers her a present just like that. EMBRICH lands a hit. I think the referee may consider looking to the video, and he doesn't, but and in fact Sun Yiwen very sportingly acknowledges the hit was on the inside of her front leg. I suppose she can afford to be that sporting at 12-8 up and just 18 seconds left on the clock. EMBRICH not done yet. 12-9 though, she's going to have to push like that right from the start of every alley. There's another single light for EMBRICH. And this is now poised. EMBRICH's got to come out. She's got to go at Sun. Sun though, well, she's got the time to just skip away from her opponent. And she's skipping away there. Trying to keep out a good defense. EMBRICH gets a third in a row. A third single light for the Estonian. She's back within one. She's got 8 seconds, well, nearly 9 seconds to level things up. That's all she has to do. And to be honest with you, that's all she can do. She's got to go after Sun. Here she comes. This time Sun does not back away. She steps in, closes out. And another second and a bit ticks away from the clock. Oh, and now we're going to have the clock will have to be reset. There's about 7:47 on the clock at the time. And Gregory Gross, a referee from Israel, who's on the video duties for the gold medal match here in Barcelona, comes up to assist his Spanish colleague. And now we have a gaggle of referees standing around trying to get the clock back up to the time that it needs to be. I think it's 7:47 on the clock at the time. But, they're having to count it down in hundredths of seconds. Talk about building the tension. 13-11 to Sun. She's got to stand there and wait for them to get down to, well, they've gone down to past 7.3 seconds. And now it's 7.2 seconds. So, well, 0.2 of a second off I was, and that's not even half a step. EMBRICH's got to go straight away. Finds the blade. Sun this time deciding not to step away again. She's content with trying to go toe-to-toe with EMBRICH in the middle. Time's going to run out for EMBRICH. It certainly will now. Sun does skip away this time. She is going to become the Barcelona World Cup champion. 2.3 seconds on the clock. EMBRICH does go after her. And in fact, it's Sun who gets the 15th hit. She is a well-deserving champion here in Barcelona. She has fenced absolutely beautifully all day. EMBRICH fenced stunningly to beat Stash. First time she's done that in 11 years. But Sun Yi-wen, the world number 6, is lifted into the air by her coach, Hughes Aubry, the Frenchman, delighted with his first World Cup win with his new team.